In order to be narcissist-proof or abuse-proof, you need to be well-boundaried and highly assertive. To assert is to tell the truth. To have boundaries is to set rules, limitations. You need to have standards as well. And all of these are enforced when you remove access to yourself and your resources. When you are that person, then you are narcissist-proof. You're abuse-proof because you cannot end up in a relationship with them, because the moment they continue to violate your boundaries is the moment to which you will enforce your boundary by removing access, which is to walk away. So you're abuse-proof. You can't be abused. And as mentioned in the comment, a good person is not going to keep repeating the same thing that you already asked them to stop doing. So when you set that boundary, you draw that line in the sand, this is how you differentiate. Is this going to be an abuser, or is this going to be someone who is healthy? Is this going to be someone who's toxic, or is this someone that I can actually build a future with? So yes, your boundaries, your assertiveness will keep you safe. Some people, though, say, well, you got to give people a chance and nobody's perfect, and they get confused. There are those who don't assert and they don't tell the truth. That's not acceptable. You need to assert. Otherwise, you're going to end up in abusive relationships. There are those who skip over asserting and go right to enforcement, which is to remove access and to remove themselves, to walk away. If you're too hasty with the walking away, you're going to lose good people because you never gave anyone a chance. The asserting is a loving arrangement where you're giving a person a chance to learn how to be someone that you can be around. So you need the proper balance. You need the proper balance. You don't want to be too quick on the trigger where you're not giving people the opportunity, but you don't want to just sit there and tolerate repeated abuse, which is violations of your boundaries, mistreatment. That's what abuse is. When you set up the framework of how you want to be treated, and then someone violates that repeatedly, that's abuse. So how do you know when to pull the plug, when to cut off access? It's up to you. It's up to you. You are capable of deciding. You are the judge, the executioner. You are the queen or the king of your kingdom. You decide when you will remove access to your resources. Okay? It's up to you. Sometimes you will say, this situation is such a small thing. I don't want to end the relationship over this. I'm going to keep giving them chances because all it was, maybe in this case, is I told them to stop smacking their food. And even though they've done it a few times, I don't think they're doing it on purpose. And regardless, I don't want to end the relationship over that, right? In some cases, it's serious enough that you say, oh, they just did it one time. I'm done. Maybe for you, cheating is that way. They cheated one time. I'm done. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. You don't need someone else to tell you if your boundaries are acceptable. There is no universal guide. What are good boundaries? What are bad? No. It's up to you to decide. It's up to you to decide what you will tolerate. But please, don't allow it to get to the point of being abuse. Be quick to assert and enforce your boundaries, but not so quick that you're not giving a good person an opportunity to grow and to learn about you. So you got to assess, okay, what was this actual situation that I decided to set the boundary on? Do I need to immediately leave them right now because they, whatever it was that they did wrong, they were late one time for an appointment, so I need to end this entire relationship? Be reasonable. Be reasonable. But don't tolerate abuse. This absolutely works, by the way. People worry about covert narcissists. Oh, but a covert narcissist, they can fake it. Yeah, that's why we have boundaries and assertiveness. Don't worry about trying to read someone's intention to know their thoughts in their heart. You don't need that. Boundaries. Your boundaries keep you safe. Okay, covert narcissist, here's a framework of how you have to act. If you cross the line, that's a violation of my boundaries, I might go. It's that simple. So now you go, and it doesn't matter if it's years. And let's say they behave themselves perfectly for years, and then one day they drop the mask and they show that they're really a bad person by what? Violating your boundary. Then what does that mean? That they're bad for you. they're bad for you. So then you're going to let them go. This good and bad is about, are they good for you or are they bad for you? So don't worry about whether they're covert narcissists. Worry about what is the pattern of actions. Do they respect the boundaries or not? Worry about that. You understand? You're safe. As long as they always follow and respect your boundaries, who cares if they're a covert narcissist? What matters is, do they respect your boundaries? Because if they don't respect your boundaries, it's at that moment that you have the reason to pull the plug. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry, I got to pull the plug. You didn't respect the boundaries. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And you decide if you're going to keep giving people chances or not. But be smart. Look at what the situation is. Assess it. You have the capability. I believe in you. Now, believe in yourself.